the computer. All right, guys, we do want to welcome everybody. This is Denson Taylor. This is our normal Saturday morning training. In fact, we're kicking off 2026. It is January the 3rd, man, already 2026. I hope you guys had a great holiday season, and we're looking forward to a very, very productive 2026. In fact, our motto in 2026 is we're going to get rich brick by brick in 2026. So let's take advantage of that and make it happen. Do not waste a day, okay? Today is a day you do not want to waste it. Get your teams on. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to kick this training off with our the founder of this company, our president, CEO, Wes Melcher. And Wes just had a birthday, so happy birthday, Wes. How does it feel to be 70? I'm sorry, Wes. I know you. Are you 50 yet, man? It makes me sick.
No, I am not. So don't try to add any extra years on there.
All right. Well, hey, I hope you had a great birthday, man. I'm sorry, about Texas Tech, but I'm sure it was a great experience to be at the game, and we all saw you, man. I think I saw you on ESPN.
Yeah, we had good tickets. Unfortunately, the team did not show up. We were there, the fans were there, but the team stayed in Lubbock apparently. So it was not a good game, but nonetheless, it was a great New Year and birthday. So got a chance to hang out with my brother and my cousins. Everybody grew up in my hometown in Lubbock, and so it's a one of those things where you root with your heart because of where you're from. So it was a good weekend.
Yeah, well, hey, happy New Year to you. We're looking forward to a big one. I'm going to turn it over to you, and then, guys, we'll get into some things after Wes. He has some things he wants to share with you guys this morning. Okay.
Well, welcome everybody. Happy New Year. It is officially 2026. It sounds crazy to say that because I can remember back to when I was a kid thinking about when it was going to turn 2000. Obviously, having the birthday that I have as December 31st, there were a lot of people that were worried about Y2K. For those of you that don't remember that or are too young to remember that, back in 1999, there was a kind of a rumor started that all of the computers did not know how to calculate the year 2000 and that the whole world was going to come to a crashing halt and basically implode on January 1st, 2000 when the clock struck midnight. They diverted flights, and I mean it was crazy, but obviously the world did not end. But I can remember that vividly, like I said, because of my birthday. And, thinking back on my career, I've been doing a kickoff training, a fast start to the new year training for my entire career. For those of you that don't know, I started my direct sales career back in 1997. I worked with Cutco Knives for almost 7 years. I broke pretty much almost every record in that company and had an incredible career there. But one of the programs that Cutco ran was what was called the January program. And if for those of you that aren't familiar with Cutco, just let me give you a little background on their model and why this is so important. There was a company that was started by a guy named Don Frieda, who's a friend of mine, back in the 70s, called Vector Marketing. Vector was just a team of Cutco distributors, but they had a unique business model where they would recruit college students to work in the summers and then on Christmas break while they're out of school. And the plan was for them to be able to work so hard during those break periods that they could pay for school the rest of the year and live off the money that they made. And so it was all about maximizing these two periods, the summer and then the Christmas break and New Year. And so one of the things that they all did in those Cutco offices was they ran this January program. And Vector became so powerful as just an individual distributor of Cutco knives that Cutco wound up acquiring Vector, and Vector became the exclusive distributor for Cutco knives. It was an incredible success story. billions of dollars in revenue in one of the oldest cutlery manufacturer here in the United States. And the power was because of the focus and energy of the summer and also of the new year, of this Christmas break, this January program. And so inside of every single Cutco office, everybody was geared up, ready for the January program. And so we ran this training inside of every single Cutco office, and we all went through some of the same curriculum. In fact, that's why Vector became so powerful, was because their training program was the best. It was dialed in. They've done it for, over 50 years now. At the time, it was over 25 years of improving and strengthening this training program. But the power really lied in preparation and focus. And so that's what I want to talk about today before Denson gets into his training, is because for those of you that are lucky enough to come to Miami this coming week, you are going to get a totally different training than you've ever gotten before. In fact, a lot of our training this coming week in Miami during the conference is not going to be Bryte Lyfe training. It is going to be goal setting. It is going to be strategy. It is going to be team management, structuring your business, how to run your business like a CEO, how to set your business up like a CEO. We have several segments that are built into this training that you've never heard before, never seen before. And a lot of this I've been doing for almost 30 years, because a lot of it comes from that initial training that I was taught in Cutco and then went on to teach myself. And so I've been doing this January kickoff training for my entire career, 30 years now. I did it in World Ventures. We brought it to the entire company. We had an event every January in World Ventures where we had the entire company fly into an area and kick off the new year. And I was the one who created the agenda and the format and put the speakers on the agenda for those events. And we were having events with 15, 20,000 people for this kickoff event in January at the peak of my World Ventures business. And so 15,000 people were coming. And that's one of the reasons why the company had so much success out of the new year and to kick things off and to get things started. And the reason I bring this up is because we were supposed to take the tickets off sale last night at midnight. But I was traveling, and so I asked the team to just leave the tickets up until Monday so you can still get tickets to Miami. Why do I bring this up? Well, first of all, I met with somebody on our team yesterday and helped them arrange their travel to Miami. And there are still flights from most major cities to Miami next weekend for under $250. And there are still rooms available at the Palm Tree Beach Club Hotel, where almost everybody is staying, for under $100 a night. Okay, so if you think about this for a second, all right, under $100 a night for your hotel. And if you want something for $30 or $40 a night, there are rooms within 5 minutes of where we're going to be doing our conference for under $50 a night. Okay. And flights under 250. And I saw some flights on Spirit that were under 100 each way with tax. Okay. So if you look at the cost of the flight and you look at the cost of the hotel, you only need your hotel room really for Friday, Saturday. So 2 nights hotel, $50 a night. If you want to do it on a budget, you could probably even find something for 30, 40. Plus you could get 2 or 3 people to go in on it with you. You might could stay for 2 nights in Miami through the app for $15 or $20 a person if you could team up with somebody in your organization, or maybe even somebody in the group. If you want to find a roommate for Miami and you're committed to going, I encourage you to go post a message on our group. There may be people that are still looking for roommates that would share the cost with you. Okay. Then look at the cost of the flight, under $250. Then you look at the cost of the ticket, $99. So, $50 for a room if you could get somebody to share it with you, $100 for your tickets, $150, under $250 for your flight. That's under $400 to come to Miami. Obviously, you're going to have some food costs, but you could still do it on a budget. You could pack snacks. When I take my daughter, on long trips, we pack snacks in the backpack, and that way we don't have to go to the gift shop or the snack shop at the hotel and pay $10 for a bag of Doritos or whatever. There are a lot of ways where if things are tight right now, and I know for a lot of people, you just spent money on the holidays, you just paid for Christmas and all the stuff going on. And so maybe you traveled to see family. And so things may be tight. But what I want to encourage you to do is don't give up. Okay. Don't take no for an answer. I'm telling you, this training will be the best training that we've ever had. If you had a contest ticket, you just need to email concierge@brytelyfe.com and they'll get you fixed up. If you guys had the 2-for-1, the buy one, get one freeze, you can also email concierge@brytelyfe.com and let them know who your buy one, get one free ticket is going to go to. We definitely need to get those names. We're going to remind you about that on the corporate call tomorrow night. Don't forget, corporate call tomorrow night. Also, Corey's Well Life call is Monday night, always the first and third Monday of the month. And so we've got a call tomorrow night, our first Zoom of the week, our first Zoom of 2026 for prospects is tomorrow night. And then our first Well Life call is Monday night as well at 8 p.m. Eastern at brytelifewellness.com. So lots of things going on. But back to the message. It is not too late. You do not have to feel defeated. This is going to be the best training we've ever done. If you were serious about the business and you were serious about making change in your life, financially, in your business with Bryte Lyfe, if you are committed, you've got to figure out a way to get to Miami. It is not too late. If you want help, suggestions, recommendations, if there's something that I can do to help you get there, don't forget you can use travel dollars on your tickets. Also, if you have travel dollars and you want to use your travel dollars for your flight to Miami, we will let you use your travel dollars for your flight. So you can use your travel dollars on your hotel through the app. You can use your travel dollars on your flight. If you want to get reimbursed with travel dollars, just submit your flight receipt to in a support request, and we will reimburse you. If you have travel dollars to cover it, just let us know how many travel dollars you want to use. So travel dollars for your flight, travel dollars for your ticket, travel dollars for your hotel. I mean, you could go work today and you could put people on the video. I'm available to help you close. So if you need a third-party validation, if you need somebody to help you close your prospects today, I am available. I am working all weekend. I am personally inviting prospects to come to Miami. I'm inviting prospects to come to our red carpet party at Gecko on Friday night. What an incredible way to bring prospects to see Bryte Lyfe. So if you know somebody who lives in South Florida, tell them your company is having a red carpet event at Gecko, one of the hottest, newest places in Miami. They had one of the biggest New Year's Eve parties in all of South Beach, by the way. Tons of celebrities there. So if you go to the group website or you go to Gecko, you'll see all the celebrities that were there and see footage from New Year's. It looks incredible. I'm super excited about our red carpet event being at Gecko on Friday night. So what an incredible way to expose somebody in a VIP, ultra luxurious red carpet way, then inviting them to Gecko on Friday night. Okay, so don't give up. You can still get to Miami. And I'm telling you, if you are serious about the business or if you want to make this work, you have got to do everything you can to be in Miami, because this is the best training I do. I've literally done this training for millions of people. Millions, okay? Because they streamed it in World Ventures. I ran it for all the Cutco offices. Other Cutco managers used to fly me in to do this training for their teams. We did it in World Ventures. We did it for our teams. Other teams had me fly in and do this training for their teams. This is the best training that I do. We are going to blow up in 2026. We have major goals. You're going to see the brand new app go live this month. We've got so many new announcements and so many things planned for 2026. For those of you that have already seen the new website, all of the new buttons that we built inside of the new website will also go live over the next couple of weeks. Everything is still in the back office. So I know some new people have said, hey, the Travel Life and Live Life buttons on the new website, there's nothing there. Yeah, that's part of the new website and the new app that's going to be going live over the next week or two. Everything is still in the back office currently, but the merged new website along with the new app, all the new tiles, buttons, and interface are all going live over the next couple weeks. You are going to be blown away. Our interface is going to be next level. We've got brand new fast start plans for our new members and new influencers that are going to be getting emailed out, a campaign to help people get started fast. So we're going to go through that and show that to you this weekend in Miami. So we've got so much planned for you that I want to encourage everybody to do whatever you can to get to Miami. And then I also want to encourage everybody to get your teams to go watch this training, because Denson's going to talk about about how to start the new year fast. He's going to talk about some tips and tricks on things to do with your team. If you have not already set up a team strategy session, a team planning meeting, do it potluck, do it at somebody's house, get all of your team together, whether it's 2 people, 3 people, 6 people, 9 people, or more. Get them all together this week. Everybody is looking for a New Year's resolution. Everybody's looking for something to focus on. Most people just spend a ton of money. They're looking to replace income that they lost over this last month because of the holidays and because of the spending. And so people are hungry right now. You're not going to get people more hungry than they are the first week of January. So this is a massive opportunity for you and your entire organization. So make sure you're prospecting today. Make sure you're inviting today. All of those family and friends that you connected with over the holidays, if you did not get a chance to expose them over the holidays, what a great time to call them and say, hey, it was great to see you over the holidays. I really would love to share with you part of my New Year's resolution for 2026 and helping people cross things off their bucket list. What's on your bucket list? Start asking people, what is on your bucket list? What are the top 10 places on your bucket list? These are the types of questions and conversations you need to be having every single day. Denson's going to help you with a lot of this. Our training in Miami is going to be incredible. Do not miss the corporate call tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern at brytelifenews.com, followed up at 9 p.m. Eastern with our first Zoom for prospects of 2026 at zoomviproom.com. We have an incredible announcement to make with people who made it onto the yacht this last week. We've got some recognition. We've got some more announcements for Miami with the pool party. We've got some announcements for that. So lots of important things tomorrow night. So get your team to watch this training. It's going to be posted on the YouTube channel within an hour or two of this training finishing. And then we've got our very important first corporate call of 2026 tomorrow night. Make sure your teams know. So Denson, I'm going to turn things back over to you. Thanks so much for your leadership, buddy. Congratulations on the new granddaughter as well. I know your family is super excited with the new addition, and we're sending lots of love and prayers to your little granddaughter and to your daughter as well.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Wes. I really appreciate that. That was the best Christmas present that we've ever gotten. Okay, have a grandbaby on Christmas. So yeah, we're very excited about that. So guys, what we're gonna do is we're gonna run through. In fact, hang on a sec. Let's see here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna run through a short training here. Hang on a second, trying to be sure that I've got this. Okay, great. So welcome, happy new year. And again, guys, I want you to really recognize where we are, with this company as far as what we want to do, because you can just kind of see things are different. Things are really starting to come together. I look at some of the folks that started with us. Some had success early on, and for whatever reason they didn't keep moving. And you have to understand, in network marketing, we've always taught this: it's not who wants it the most, it's who wants it the longest. I was taught this by a billionaire. It's not enough to be in the right place at the right time, but you have to execute and take advantage of that. And that's the thing that I would tell you guys. So for those of you all that I don't know, I'm Denson Taylor. My wife and I have been involved full-time network marketing now for well over 30 years. We've gone to the top of several major companies. We've made millions of dollars. We've been in situations where our timing, was off, and we had tremendous success. And we've always looked for that right company at the right time, to take advantage of. And that's where we are now. But again, it's not enough to be in the right place at the right time. You really have to take this serious. You have to treat it as a business. And, I was thinking about some good slogans for 2026, and I think this is great. Time to get rich brick by brick in 2026. So this is what I want you focused on. You're going to build your business. This is a business building process, just like a bricklayer. Okay, they don't try to put all the bricks on at one time. They don't look at, when you see people that are building, you might be on here, you might be a contractor or a builder, where that you don't just dump a lot of bricks in and all of a sudden you got a house. You got to actually do this brick by brick. And that's kind of how network marketing works. Okay, we have to build it, and we have to do this thing a step at a time. So that's the thing that I would tell you all is this. Okay, I'm going to show you what the business building Blocks are here, and you just want to take it again, brick by brick. But I'm telling you, in this comp plan and only this comp plan, you can actually follow that process and get your financial freedom. Not only in this comp plan, but it's the easiest that I've seen in this industry. So, we've talked about company timing, and this is important, I think, for you to understand. For those of you that are long term here, you have to understand that any successful company goes through these four phases of growth: formulation, concentration, momentum, and stability. Now, formulation is where the company is pretty much getting it all together. And I remember when over this last year, we kind of went through the formulation phase of this company. Some of us saw, little bumps in the road. I've always heard that it's the pioneers that ultimately take the arrows, right? Well, you have to understand there were a few arrows. The first year it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't anything that made us lose any kind of confidence in what we were doing. We just knew that we were early on, and there were things that we were going to run into. So we gladly take that role and that responsibility. Why? Because it's a huge payoff at the end of it. And then, of course, once companies pretty much get it all in place, we move into what's called concentration. Now, concentration is kind of where things smooth out. They really get better. In fact, in some cases, you may not even recognize the company in the concentration phase from formulation. Okay, it advances just that much. But what happens during concentration is that we tend to attract a different or enough of the right leaders. Okay, we tend to attract people to this company. And, once that happens, we get enough of the right leaders in place moving in the same direction, then the company goes vertical. Okay, this is called momentum. Now, momentum, I want you to write this down if you're not familiar with this. In the momentum stage, this is where I'm going to say 90% of wealth is built in the momentum stage. Okay, and then, of course, the company goes into stability. Now, my first company was a company, right there. I know some of you all on this webinar are in Dallas, Texas, and this company was based in Dallas, Excel. They started up in 1988. Their goal was to take advantage of the deregulation process of long distance. That was about $100 billion industry. The reason I share that with you is because the travel industry is the largest industry in the world, and it's an $8 trillion industry. Okay, so it does not even compare. All right, so but even $100 billion industry, only domestic operations. Now, why do I tell you this? Because we're an international company. We can literally do business all over the world. So a good friend of mine and mentor there, Paul Orbison, he got involved in that company kind of, in the middle of formulation. Excel had about 20,000 distributors or so. And he once told me a story of, it was a long distance company. He once told me a story of him and another guy that went out and literally collected hundreds of customers on paper, only to get back to the company to realize that they couldn't even provision the customers. Well, the other guy quit the business. This guy kept going because he understood that, hey, we are early on. We're going to take the arrows. And he ended up, really being rewarded for that. Well, my wife and I actually got involved in that company. And by the time we got involved, there were over 1 million distributors. I guess we got involved 9 or 10 years after Paul. There were over 1 million distributors. And the difference is this, okay? We were the top money earners of our era. He was the top money earner of his era, okay? And what I mean by that is from his era back, he was the top money earner. From our era back, we were the top money earners. And the difference was this: he was there before that momentum curve. We were there on the back end of the momentum curve. Both of us went to work and made it happen. And the difference in being top money earner was literally millions and millions and millions of dollars. Now, why do I share this with you? Why is it significant to you right now? Well, travel, again, is the largest industry in the world, but it's something that has taken place you may not even be aware of, called revenge travel. Just think about this. During the pandemic, travel was taken away from everybody. Nobody could just go really hop on an airplane during a certain period. And it just shut that one thing down that most people really love and look forward to. So now that it's back, it was something called revenge travel, where, travel has become even a larger industry since people have been able to travel again. So it is in high demand. Our comp plan, something that's very revolutionary. It's simple qualification, which makes it very, very powerful. And guys, you have to understand, our duplicator here is two. And nothing can grow as fast as network marketing when it gets to a certain point because of duplication. So when you got something as simple as the number two to duplicate, you have to understand, you might want to write this down. The bigger it gets, the bigger it gets. Okay. I know that that's profound, right? But you see things happening like our website. Okay. So you take the new website, looking at this website, again, you wouldn't even recognize, this as being the same company. This website is so advanced. So, of course, when you go to this website, if you're not logged in as a member, then, of course, you'll see, in fact, it's loading on my computer right now, but, you'll see it's just a beautiful, breathtaking website, right? Well, a person can actually go and look at the different aspects of our membership. I'm going to go to Bucket List Life here. Now, one thing that they'll see is they'll have a bucket list countdown. So this is for a brand new person that's not logged in. It gives all that information. And, look at this part of the website here. Like, for every area that you hover, it actually shows you a great picture of that particular location. Like if you want to go to Tulum, or if you want to go to Costa Rica, or if you want to go to Venice, or if you want to go to Nashville, or if you want to go to Australia. And why do I show you this? Well, you could take a brand new person, especially if you were sitting down with somebody, and you could say, look, I want you to write out any locations that you might want to go to, that's on your bucket list. So, of course, let me see if I can get this in here to where you can see it. So if they look at Las Vegas and say, man, I've always wanted to go to Las Vegas, let me write that down. Man, Ibiza is somewhere I've always wanted to go to. Man, I've got to do London. So it's almost like a kid on Christmas morning, right? They might say, well, man, I've never been to Miami. I want to do Miami. I want to do New Zealand. I want to do Paris. Have them to write down 10 destinations that they've always wanted to go to, never either taken the time, made it a priority, or maybe even had the money to go. Why? Because every year we're going to give them a guaranteed 5-star stay. So again, guys, what you want to do is just, use this website. Even if you send it over to a person, this really, speaks volumes when you send them. It's something that you can absolutely be proud of to send people to. So again, this, kind of marks that we are moving into concentration. Okay. Again, you won't even recognize the company. Okay. That's what's so powerful about this. So I want you all to not take this for granted. Like Wes said, you're going to see some things in Miami. And, again, it'll be things that you won't recognize from what we started with a year ago. But that marks that we are definitely moving to the next phase. So, definitely do not take this for granted, because there are 3 types of people out there. Okay. And you can kind of, see where you fit. You don't have to share it, but there are people that make things happen. Okay. There are people that watch things happen. And there are people that wake up one morning and say, man, what happened? Well, you don't want to be that person, especially here, because if you woke up 3 years from now, 5 years from now, and our company is in momentum, and you knew you could have been positioned, because you know what momentum means? Momentum means that if you go into momentum, and let's say you're influencer 15K, 15,000 a month, and you're positioned, you've got a team that's moving forward, and all of a sudden that momentum thrusts your team, you could look at, being 10 times higher in income, even if you stop working as we moved into momentum. If you've got a team working, your 15,000 could go to, let's just say, 125,000, whether you were working or not. So that's what it's all about. Some of y'all look at people like myself, you look at people like other leaders, and y'all think we're crazy. You're like, man, what is it? Why do they do webinars every night? Why would I get on a webinar every night? Why would, whatever? It's to get positioned before the company hits momentum. Because guess what? When it hits momentum, then people will be saying, man, Denson got lucky again, man. I can't believe it. Everything he touches turns to gold. No, it's not that. It's just being willing to do those things that other people aren't willing to do, guys. That's what it's all about. And for me, I've done work a whole lot harder than webinars. Okay. I've done work a whole lot harder than driving somewhere and doing a meeting. Okay. I've worked outside at FedEx at night when it was. I remember one time it was raining, it was ice on the ground, it was de-icing fluid, and I hop off of a tug, which is one of those white things that you pull containers with. I hop off, didn't realize that my sole was not connected to my shoe, and I hopped down into the middle of that de-icing fluid, and man, that water just flew into my shoes and it froze. Well, you know what? This is a whole lot easier. I mean, I'll drive to Chicago and do a meeting over that, right? I mean, it's like you have to look at what you're talking about, because some of y'all have a philosophy that, man, I can't get on a webinar every night, man. This is too much. Well, what's too much? We're talking what? What's your upside here? Your upside is as much as $500,000 a month. So, or I don't want to talk to people that I know. I don't want anybody to tell me no. So what if somebody tells you no? Why? Because your upside is $500,000 a month. Okay, so you guys, look, internalize that and remove the emotions out of a business situation, and let's go make it happen. I mean, it's just that simple. Now, if you've not done this, you want to download the app. Now, you'll go to your app store, whatever, whether you've got an iPhone or an Android, it doesn't matter. But once you download the app, you want to log in with your login credentials. And your goal here is this, guys. You, number one, want to keep an eye on your bucket list countdown. It's going to tell you exactly how long you have before you qualify for that next bucket list trip. Now, I know some of you all are already qualified. In fact, if you are qualified for your bucket list trip, just like I did, I want you to type me in the chat box. Okay. So if you're already qualified, I want to see who's qualified. And I want you guys to look at this. Okay. If you've already been awarded your bucket list trip. So what does this mean? This means that, these people have been in for a year, and, they've kept their memberships active for a year, and they qualified for a 5-star stay. So, what's great about it is this, like, Tim, he's qualified and he's already taken his bucket list trip. And I can tell you, Tim said that was unlike any other thing that he had ever experienced before. I know Zeb, he and his wife just went to Dubai on their bucket list trip, unlike anything else that they've ever seen before. Well, guys, this has a lot to do with concentration. Why? Because when we first started in formulation, which we're not even in concentration yet, but when we first started, bucket list trips were a concept. Why? Because nobody had been here for a year. Now, all of a sudden, we've awarded hundreds of these trips. Well, do you understand that based on our family giving Zeb a $5,000 stay, giving Tim a $3,500 stay, based on that, guys, who wouldn't pay $179 a month? Who's ever gone on a cruise? Think about how cruises work. Okay, cruises work this way. They'll establish a price for it. It'll be whatever amount per person, based on double occupancy, and then they'll tell you what's due at what time. And most people never have a problem with it. What do? They just pay whatever is due at that time, and they take the cruise whenever. Well, look at this the exact same way. Our company is saying, look, you pay $179 a month, $21.48 a year. Then what we're going to do is we're going to actually give you a $3,000 to $5,000 stay. Okay, it's no different. The only difference here is this: as you help other people do that, you develop an income, a residual-based income. So keep an eye on your bucket list countdown. The next things you want to do is be sure that you are free life qualified. Okay, so what does free life mean? Free life means just what it says. okay, you qualified for a free membership with a minimum of 2 referrals. Now, as long as you do this within, by your next billing cycle, which our billing cycle is every 4 weeks, guys, every 28 days. This is why we bill every 28 days, because our company pays you every week. So every 28 days is a billing cycle. As long as you've got your 2 in place by your 27th day, you won't have to pay this. Now, all of a sudden, this makes it better than a cruise. Why? Because think about it. What if that last cruise you went on, what if that cruise ship has said, look, if you refer 2 other members, bring 2 other people with you, we'll let you go for free. Okay, every year, we'll let you go for free. Well, that's not the way that cruises work. And then what if cruises took it a step further? And look, if you'll teach your people to bring 2 with them and teach them to bring 2 with them, we'll pay you residual income. Guys, I mean, it's mind boggling to me when I think about the fact that most people would get excited about that with a cruise ship with no possibility of making money and can't see this. Well, we can't help that. It doesn't matter. Just like the cruise ship doesn't matter. They don't care who goes on the cruise and who doesn't go on the cruise. They focus on the people that are there. They service the people that are there. That's what we have to do here. And again, what's great about this, what sets us aside from any other company that you've ever seen, is that you only have to have 2. You don't have to have 10. You don't have to have 20. I know of one company right now, which is probably our biggest competitor in the space. You got to have 9 in order to qualify there. Well, it's just a matter of time before we actually, get to a point where people see the difference. And when that happens again, that's gonna contribute to momentum here. I can promise you. Now, another thing is this is where you go to book travel. A lot of people can't find this in the app, but it's a little map icon, the second icon at the bottom of the app. When you actually click that and put in your location up top here. In fact, let me get my laser pointer so I can show you. You put in your location that you want to go here. You put in your dates here. And then when you click search, it's going to bring back all of the available results. Okay. And you'll see a percentage of savings, up here. But if you don't see a percentage of savings, that does not mean that there's not a savings on that particular hotel. It just simply means that that information was not made available to us in real time. Okay. So we're still giving you the wholesale price. That just means that it's not a comparison there. So what you have to do is, if you want to know exactly what it is on Expedia, go to Expedia, put in that hotel for the dates, and it'll tell you exactly what it is. And I've still seen, even if it's not a percentage of savings there, I've still seen savings of 50 or 60%. So, if you get a room for half price, or you get 2 nights for the price of one, that's a good deal, guys. That's a wholesale fee that we're giving you access to. And then, of course, the $sign, when you click this, it's going to take you to all of your benefits. Okay. I encourage you to spend some time in your app. Okay. So you can see exactly what you have. Member deals is where you'll find things like movie tickets and things like that. But just go through there, take some time, take a look at it. And then in the bottom right-hand corner is a menu. Okay. Now, this menu, this is very important. This is where you'll find your enrollment link. Okay, you click contacts, it takes you to this page, and you'll notice here, it'll allow you to share your sign-up link. Okay, so when you click on this, it's going to give you several options. You can either copy that link to send it to another person, or we integrate with your device. We integrate with your phone. So if you click messages, and let's say you pull me up in your phone and you want to send your enrollment link to me, then it'll automatically create a text message. It'll insert that enrollment link, and bam, it's done. Now, the thing that I'll tell you here is this. So you never want to copy the link out of here and send it to another person, because the system, if you did it this way with me, it created a unique link for me. Okay, so that's very important for you to understand. You can copy it and send it to anybody, or you can integrate it through the system to send it through your phone to a person. Now, let's talk about what to say, because I think if you focus on if you just focus on making a list of people and what to say to those people, and you can almost target market your people in a way where If you know somebody travels, let's say you know somebody takes 2 or 3 vacations every year, they would want to see this. Or if you know somebody is money motivated, they would want to see this. Like it's just certain people that you know that this would make sense to. If they're successful, they're motivated, they're business people. That's what I tell people. Go to the most successful people that you know because they are, the ones that can help you to drive your business. They have influence with other successful people. So those people will listen to them. And even if you feel like you've run out of people, just understand all it takes is one key person. And guess what? You've got their networks that are open for you to talk to as well. So you really want to do this in a very calculated way. Okay. Like I might call Tim, hey Tim, let's say I know Tim owns a couple of timeshares. I know he likes traveling with his family, just had something this past weekend with his family. And I know that this would interest him. So if I call Tim and say, hey Tim, I need to ask you a question. Do you like traveling and making money? Okay. So Tim, tell me in the chat box, do you like traveling and making money? Yes or yes. Okay, because I know he's gonna say yes. Yeah, there we go. Okay, great. Thanks, Tim, for not messing my training up. So do you like traveling and making money? Tim says yes. All right. So I call this an if I could with you proposition. So I say to Tim, if I can show you a way to get a guaranteed 5-star bucket list trip every year for free, wholesale pricing on travel and entertainment, and position you to make money by helping other people to take advantage of this, would you want to know about it? Okay, so Tim, yes or yes? He already said yes. Okay, so yes, he wants to know about it. All right, Tim, look, I'm sending you a link to whatever you're going to send him. Okay, you will not believe this. Okay, so you might send him a link to a 3-minute video. You might send him a link to an 8-minute video. You may send him a link to a live webinar that we're doing, guys. Don't get hung up in, don't major in the minors. Don't get hung up in things that don't matter. Just send him whatever information that you're going to send him. I recommend some kind of a sizzle video, which is a 3-minute overview. But, Wes has recorded like an 8-minute overview. It doesn't matter, guys. You can't show it right to the wrong person, and you can't show it wrong to the right person. Just show it. Just do it. Now, another thing in working your list is, and look at it this way. You must commit to using your influence to get this information in front of everybody on your list. Okay. So if you want to do that in a very simple and easy way, get good at asking this question. In fact, get into the mirror, look at yourself, and just say this over and over again until you get comfortable with it. Do you like traveling and making money? Okay. Hey Tim, how's it going? Hey Cindy, how's it going? Do you like traveling and making money? Cindy, what would you say if I called you and asked you that simple question? What would you say, Cindy? Cindy, do you like traveling and making money? Yes. Now, one thing that I'm going to tell you is this, though. Don't just call them and ask that question. Catch up with Cindy. Cindy, how's it been going? How were your holidays? Well, I wanted to ask you a quick question. Do you like traveling and making money? She says yes. Well, I've got something you absolutely have to see. I've got something you got to see. If I've got any influence with Cindy, guess what? She's going to look based on what? Our relationship and my influence with her. So this is how you use your influence to get people to look. That's it. All you want them to do is look, and you're going to get a yes or a no. So if I send you a link to a short video, when can you watch it? Now, the simplest thing to do here is send them to join.brytelyfe.com/your username, because if they watch that short video and if they like it, they can go on and get enrolled right then. Okay. But one thing you want to do is, the fortune is in the follow-up. Okay, write that down. The fortune is in the follow-up. Look at it this way. You might send somebody to a presentation and not follow up with them. They might be interested, but for whatever reason, they didn't call you back. They didn't get around to it. And then all of a sudden, somebody else gets them out to a meeting or gets them to a webinar. And all of a sudden, based on the work that you did, they got involved. How many times we have people say, so-and-so told me about this, but I didn't hear back from them. Well, once you understand that all you need is a key person on your left and a key person on your right in order to make this work, yeah, you will get good at following up. Now, that also works with our weekly webinars. Okay. Hey Cindy, you like traveling and making money? Absolutely, I do. Okay, great. I've got something you've got to see at the top of the hour. Like you might call them an hour before the webinar. Okay, 9 p.m. Eastern. We've got a private webinar going on. I want you to take a look at this. You absolutely have to see this. You won't believe it. So Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. And again, guys, we've had people that have said, "Oh man, you guys do too many webinars." Well, yeah, we do too many webinars for some, but think about this, okay? If I could show you, in fact, this is a book that a guy wrote that I actually read called The 4 Hour Work Week, and he just talks about making a 6 or 7 figure income with a 4 hour work week. Well, what if you could do that here? What if you could do a 4 hour work week, but part of that work week has to be 5 nights a week, 30 minutes. So what are we talking about? 2.5 hours on webinars. Well, I know that man, that's a deal breaker, right? Man, I can't be on a webinar 2.5 hours a week, but you're going to work 8 hours a day. You're working 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week, doing something that you don't even like to do, being around people you don't necessarily want to be around. Guys, look, let's put this into perspective. And your workplace might be an upside of $100,000 a year or whatever it is. I know one thing, it's not 500,000 a month, and if it is 500,000 a month, it's not residual, right? So that's the thing that I would tell you guys: put this thing into perspective. And when you understand that, the one thing that you guys have noticed since I've been here, I have never ever missed a webinar. That's one thing that I don't do. Why? Because I'm setting an example for my team, and I'm serious about this 500,000 a month, because I know once some of us get to that benchmark, other people will be jumping in doing whatever. I mean, let me ask you guys something. If you believe that 500,000 a month was a reality for you, okay, that it absolutely would happen, who would be on a webinar 5 days a week for 30 minutes? Would anybody be willing to do that? Okay. All right. Tim, absolutely. Zeb, yes. Okay. So yeah, everybody would be willing to do that. So I would tell you, when this show is getting ready to come on, okay, it might be, I'm not, or it might be Monday Night Football, or whatever the case is, and you're not on a webinar. You know what you're telling yourself? You know what you're telling your family? You're just saying that whoever is behind this program, they're more important to me than my family. So you do what you have to do, and just understand, we do today what others want, so we can have tomorrow what others don't. So, again, 5 nights a week, we should explode the numbers on these webinars. We shouldn't, be lingering around 30 or 40 people. These webinars should be, Jody, I love it. These webinars should be hundreds of people now. And I think what we don't really get is this, okay? If we got a couple hundred people on a webinar, and you guys are lighting the chat box up, like every time we get to a certain point, you're just lighting the chat box up. Man, this is great. Man, I can't believe it. I'm 3 months away from my bucket list trip. Man, I just got my first paycheck from this company that just sent me my car. Whatever. We just lighting the chat box up, and all of a sudden, the brand new people can't even see what's in the chat box because it's lighting up so much. We're lighting that scoreboard up. That new person wants to be a part of what we're doing. Why? Because of the energy that's in that meeting, right? So that is so important. And I'm just telling you, this is why we can go through, periods of 30 on the webinar, 40 on the webinar, 20 on the webinar. It doesn't matter, because we understand what's going to ultimately happen when we get it to that point. And so this is the hardest part of what we're doing right now. It's not easy, but it's worth it, because when when we get on this webinar making 6 figures a month, people are going to know it. You might say, well, how would they know that? They'll know it because of where we're broadcasting from. They'll know it because they might see a private jet in the background, or we might be out there floating around on a yacht. They will know it, trust me, because it'll be illustrated through lifestyle without us having to say a word. So again, guys, have vision. Okay. You can have eyesight, but not have vision. You must have vision about what you're doing. That way, some loser is not going to talk you out of your hopes and dreams and make you quit this business or make you afraid to talk to the next person. Get the losers out of the way and keep moving. Okay. Now, we do a business presentation and it's zoomviproom.com. So that's 2.5 hours. Okay, guys, look, piece of cake. I don't care. Now, if you really want to multiply your effort here, then do this. Invite a few people over to your home. Okay, cook something, order a pizza, whatever. Invite them over during the webinar time, because I know some of you all is 8 o'clock Central Time. So invite your people over at 7:30, feed them, and plug into the webinar. I promise you guys, I'm just telling you, you might have 10 people in a room. You start duplicating that process. I don't think that it would be possible for some of you all to have 10 people that you know, love, and care about that have influence, that you have influence with. I don't think it would be possible for you to have 10 people over your home and not get to. Right? I don't think that you could do that. So what is this about? It's about the simple duplication of two. Now, another thing in working your list is, and I just mentioned it, having a few people over to your home. So you might tell a person, I'm having a few people over to my home tonight at 7 o'clock. You could have them come at 7, knowing that we're going to do the webinar at 8, and let them get in. Because I'm going to tell you what people do when you invite them to something like this is some people will come fashionably late so they miss the presentation. So tell them 7 o'clock, knowing that we're going to start at 8 o'clock, and feed them when they come. Talk to them about their bucket list and what they want to do, right? And have them to start dreaming, guys. That's what's so important about this. And then you show the plan. Now, you can show the plan. The easiest thing to do is just to plug them into the webinar, or you can show a PowerPoint. It doesn't matter. If you're a leader, I would highly recommend that you get the PowerPoint file from one of us and just show the plan. STP, show the plan. Or you can use, if you want to use a video, whybrytelyfe.com. We've got several videos out there, but STP, absolutely, Cindy, show the plan. So travel parties, guys, especially as we move into 2026. I know we live in a world of technology. We're on the internet. We're using AI, but it's still nothing will ever take the place of face-to-face. Okay? Nothing will ever take the place of face-to-face. Kevin, we'll get the PowerPoint to you. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my email address in here right now. If you'll shoot me an email, I'll send this back over to you, BensonTaylor@gmail.com. Okay, so that's my email address. Anybody need a copy of the PowerPoint? I'm going to send you something over real simple and easy to go through. And you know what's great about PowerPoints nowadays, and I'm going to really make you appreciate where we are, okay? We live in a time of internet, AI. A lot of people are confused. They think that, man, I don't need to get face to face with people. I don't need to do travel parties, whatever. I'm just going to go to AI. I'm going to get something to post on social media and I'm going to get rich. No, you're not, because as more and more people do this, people have seen it before, right? So you might put something out there that attracts a person, which is great. You always want to have that kind of stuff running. But I'm telling you, when you go to somebody that you have influence with, and you start talking to them about their hopes and dreams, and you show them this, you got a much better shot of getting them involved. They will get excited. And the key to it is this is why we do these webinars every night. You want to get them in action right away. You want to get them there too and get them qualified right away. Okay. So don't put a brand new person in and then all of a sudden they don't have an opportunity to get people in front of, you in this business until a week or two out. Why? You might say, well, Denson, what's the problem? The problem is they're going to quit before you even get them started. And again, you have to understand, the more effective you are in getting people started, the better your business and the more money you're going to make here. So travel parties, okay? So this is kind of the backbone of it. Look at it this way. If, let's say that we took every person And like this girl here, she's got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 8 people in a travel party. So let's say that you've got, because it's very easy to do now. You can either take your cell phone, you could take your tablet, you can take your computer, and you can actually, stream it wirelessly to most TVs nowadays, right? So you can go in, kick it up even from your cell phone and click through a PowerPoint. Or again, I want you to really utilize this. Think about the power of this. Let's say we had 100 of these going on and everybody was plugged into the webinar. And you guys, get in the chat box and say, okay, we got Cindy here from Michigan. I've got 10 people with me. Cindy, welcome. You 10 people in the room. Awesome. Congratulations to you guys. You're going to love what you see. And then Tim in Atlanta, I'm here in Augusta, Georgia. We got 12 people in the room. Okay, Tim, congratulations. Tim's got 12 people in the room. Kelvin, man, I'm here in so-and-so, and I've got 20 people in the room. Congratulations, Kelvin. Those 20 people, welcome. Can you see how powerful this can be, where we're shouting out to each group, each area? Well, those people they already want to be a part of it. Why? Because we're kind of making them celebrities on the webinar. Well, guys, you have to, what if we work together to make this happen? And every new person that gets involved, we call it BAM fam, book a meeting from a meeting, right? So what if every person, you got 7 people here, what if these 7 people, BAM fam, okay, she put a meeting together, he put a meeting together, she put a meeting together, she put a meeting together. Guys, look, we have gone to high 6 figures and 7 figures in a matter of months with what I'm talking about here. So again, let's get back to the basics and make this thing happen. You might even do a drive-by appointment, a personal visit with a person, show them the plan, STP. It doesn't matter. If it's around webinar time, plug into the webinar. If not, show it with a PowerPoint. If not, show a video. It doesn't matter, guys. Again, don't major in the minors. Just do it. So once you show it to a person, get them on a 3-way with your sponsor or upline. You want to connect your prospect with whoever it is you're working with. Now, this is very important, guys. This is very, very important. You must effectively edify your sponsor to whoever you want to listen to them. Some of you all, like if you put a successful person on, I've had this happen where you want to build that person up to the person that you want them to listen to. Well, it doesn't work that way. I had somebody one time that built this person up so much that they wanted to give me a presentation about their life. Well, I don't care about what they're doing. I'm sorry, but I'm not here. I'm not taking my time to listen to them and what they're doing. What am I doing? I'm trying to help you to get this person in your business. So you got to listen to me on this. You must properly edify. Get a list of bullet points from your sponsor as far as what they want you to say to your prospect, so your prospect will listen to them. I hope this makes sense to you. Okay. Now, we've said this over and over again. It's a 3-step process. Qualify with your 2. What are you qualifying for, guys? This is the backbone of what we do. You qualified for your free membership, your money back in travel dollars, and you qualified for the entire comp plan. Now, who on this webinar has done that? Has anybody qualified with their 2? Okay, so we got quite a few people. Now, this time last year, many of you all weren't even in the business yet, right? So we've got quite a few people, and as long as you help a person get that done within their first 28 days, I'm gonna say 27 day, then they don't have to pay the fee. So, and Brittany, don't you worry about it. You will have it done for you this week. Okay, so no big deal. But if you get it done within your first 28 days, you've got a free membership. We waive the $179. Instead of you getting a bill, you're going to get a credit. Well, this is what's so powerful about this. If this were all that you knew, and I would love to remove all knowledge. You know how, did you guys ever watch Men in Black? Okay, and you remember they would do things in front of people, and they would hold that device up and flash it, and that person wouldn't be able to recall anything anything that had just happened. Well, I wish we had a device where the only thing you knew in this business was the duplication of two to get it free. I wish that's all that we could talk about, because guess what? If that's all that you knew, guess what you would help your people to do? If you knew that your income depended on it, or let's even make it more serious, if you knew that your life depended on you getting your two and helping those two to get two, who feels like they could get two if your life depended on it, right? We know we would. We could almost say if you didn't get two, you'd go to jail, right? Who could get two? Based on that, you could. Well, that's all that we do, guys. And if even if we took it further and said, okay, in order for you to get your two, you got to get your two within your first 24 to 48 hours. The easiest way to do it is to get a group over to your home. So you must get a group over to your home. Call the people that do not waste this, because you got to go on and get your two. You would do it, right? Because you don't have a choice. That's what your job does to you. If you don't show up here at 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, whatever you got, whatever time you have to be there, if you are a minute late 3 times, you're fired. Guess what? You don't necessarily want to be there at that time. You don't want to be there for 8 hours. But they say if you leave early, you're fired. Then you do what you have to do. Guys, we have to take that same mindset. Why? Because you're not building somebody else's hopes and dreams here. You're building you and your family's hopes and dreams, right? And then the third step is teach your two to help their two to qualify. I don't understand what's so hard about this. Some of you all turn this into rocket science. Some of you all just turn this thing into something that is you give it more respect than it deserves. Instead of just doing it, just do it. Just get your two. And if I told you that you could only get two people, okay, and you had to roll with whoever you got, who would you go get? Who would you get? You know what I mean? You wouldn't go and talk somebody into this. If you knew you only had two spots, you would go get the right person. You would qualify people into your business. I tell George, look, man, I only got two of these spots available to me, so I need to know two things from you: that you're going to be long term and that you're going to commit to get this thing done. And if he says I'm in, just like he did, then great. I'll give him one of those spots, guys. That's how you have to look at your spots here. Now, you're not limited to two, but I think what this would do is it would make people talk to a better quality of individual, okay? So if you qualify with your two within your first month, of course, you've qualified for your free membership, get your money back in travel dollars and the entire comp plan. And all we do here is what? Duplicate that process. Now, think about this. What if you knew beyond the shadow of a doubt that two would qualify anybody for everything that you see on this chart here in monthly income? What if you knew that beyond the shadow of a doubt? What would you do? Now, is one thing, hang on a sec. I want to give you guys a download. Now, you can actually find this. I'm trying to think what I linked this to. Let me do this. You can actually find this in your app, but I want to give you guys a link to this. Now, let me see. I think sometimes you prepare and over prepare, and I can't remember where I put this thing. Hang on a sec. I know I've got it though. I'm gonna give you guys a link to the entire comp plan, all of the rules of it, and you got to spend some time with this, because I can assure you that everything that you see on this comp plan is for real, and all you got to do is go make it happen. In fact, let me pull it here. Here we go. I've got it. All right, so let me give you a link to all of the rules of the compensation plan. Okay, so let me put this in the chat box. And one thing that you'll find is, okay, we're going to paste this. All right, so this is a link to this document right here. So you'll notice on this document, Life for 300 is $300 a month. Is either $75 a week, but if it's a 5 Friday month, it's $60. Okay, so life for 800 is 800 a month, 200 a week, or 160 on a 5 week month. So you guys tell me, especially, and you need to know this as we go into the new year, but looking at this comp plan chart, okay, looking at this chart, what would you like to see happen if everything on this chart, and I don't want to say everything on this chart is possible, because it is possible over time, but if realistically, okay, what would you like to see happen on this chart for you in 2026 in residual based income? Somebody pick an amount on this chart and tell me what would you like to see happen. Okay. All right, 15K, 7,500, 5,000, 5,000, 7,500, 5,000. And you know what? I appreciate you guys being realistic like this, because my goal is not even 500,000 a month in 2026. But I think, that 3,000, 5,000, 7,500, 15,000, all these are realistic, guys. 3,000, all of these are realistic numbers. So I want you to think about, okay, and write this down. How does your life change if this happens? Like with 15,000 a month or 7,500 a month. What changes, guys? This is what you really have to be focused on: is what is this gonna do for you and your family? Because it's real. And in fact, those of you that have gotten paid from the company, I don't care if you even just promote it to 300 a month or 800 a month or 1,600. Our highest level right now is 5,000. But let me ask you all this, okay? And that was the first year. That was getting this thing started from nothing, okay? Right now, we're getting it started with a group of people that are moving forward, everybody in the same direction in concert, right? Well, you all tell me, does the company pay just like they say based on whatever level you're at? They do. So why should we doubt? Okay, if they're paying up to 5,000, why should we doubt that they wouldn't pay at 50,000? Why? Because it's more money coming into the company. Or why should we doubt that they would pay at 500,000? So, guys, this is the thing that I would have you to focus on. So, this is the process that we must get going. Okay, we've already got the infrastructure to make it happen. We're doing 5 webinars a week. What you guys have to do is you have to commit, make a list of those people that you might invite to Sunday dinner, that you might invite to your house for Christmas, the people that you're going to invite for the Super Bowl. Okay, have those people over to your house. Have them over to your house, and do it the same way. Like if you might call Tamara and say, Tamara, look, man, I forgot to pick up the chips. Tamara, can you pick up some chips on your way over? You know what this does? Get John to bring the ice, and get Lottie to bring the cupcakes, and get George to pick up the hot wings, and get Tim to bring the cookies, and get John Faulkner to bring the champagne, whatever. You know what this does? This commits each one of them to be there, so you can show them the deal. Now, if they're the strongest people that you know, guess what? Their integrity levels say that they are going to be there, because they know you're counting on them to bring something, and they're going to see it. Okay, I can guarantee you, if I had Tamara and John Banks and John Faulkner and Tim Dominy and Lottie Jones, and Ruben Edelman and Terry Dye, I can guarantee you, if I had that group, Wonderful, over to my house, and Jones, if I had that group over to my house, do you think I would get my two? Okay. Absolutely, no question. And you're one of them. So, yeah, I would get my two, because I'd only need one more. Tamara in, yes. So that's how you have to look at this. And when I bring somebody like an Ann or a Tamara, and they do the same thing, guess what? They're going to get there too. Guys, all we have to do is manage to duplicate 2 through 15 levels, and you never have to worry about money again. You're at 500 grand a month. Do you understand this kind of income? If you got 125 grand a month coming in, of course, in your retirement account that is tax deductible or tax free, you're going to put as much as you can there. You can make other investments into other businesses or whatever. What I'm doing at this point in my life is I'm going to put it in things that are proven. I'm not taking any chances. Why? Because I don't have to take chances, because we're talking 500 grand a month. Guys, we are looking for a 10-year run to take care of our future generations. I don't know if you guys are there, but it's about what? It's about legacy. It's about building legacy for those people that you care about. Like my grandbaby that was born on Christmas 2 months early. I go look at that little beautiful face. You think I don't want to leave legacy for her? That's what it's all about. So what I want to do is I actually sent this out to a few of my leaders, New Year's, and I want to share this with all of you all. I'll give you the link to this video. I think it's a perfect way for us to start 2026. Those of you all that were kind of on the fence about Miami, go on and get your tickets and make it happen. In fact, one thing I'll tell you all is this too. Like Wes said, he saw some deals out there less than $100. It's less for you to fly to Miami than it is even try to drive. So go find you a ticket for $100. Go find a hotel that works. And I'm just telling you, the events is what's gonna engage you in this business. It's what's gonna raise your belief level to the point where you don't quit. Because the only thing that stands in your way of success here is quitting. Do not quit. Whatever you do, do not quit. So it's just all about that investment and in yourself, period. You have to see right now you're around people that for whatever reason they don't believe. But another thing is if they don't do it, they don't want it to work. Okay, do you think somebody that tells you no would like for you to go and take this thing and make $500,000 a month? No, they don't. That's the reason that we do these events every quarter, because you must be around like-minded people, but you have to create that in your own markets as well. So I can tell you all, as we move out of Miami, I'm really stepping it up. If you want to be one of my areas, you absolutely let me know. I know already Dallas, Texas. Okay, I'm scheduled. And I'll be in Dallas the week that we get back from Miami. Okay. I'm dead serious about that. Memphis, Tennessee, dead serious about building that market. We're about to start something up here in Atlanta, Georgia, as soon as we get back, from Miami. So I'm just telling you guys, we are about to make this thing happen. Michigan, Cindy, you're absolutely right. Benton Harbor, I'll tell you how serious I am about this. I'm going to go up there in the wintertime. Woo! I'm committed to do it. Okay. So, California, we want to make that happen, guys. You all are on the very front end of everything that we're doing here. It won't be this way forever, but right now this is the case. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I think it's something that, will really resonate with you, and, just take a look at it. I think you'll like it.
So many people are waiting. You're waiting for things to be perfect. You're waiting for everyone to get themselves together. You're waiting for someone to invite you into the room. You're waiting for someone to give you a seat at the table. You're waiting for someone to validate your gift. You're waiting for someone to call your name. You're waiting for someone to give you the opportunity. You're waiting for everything to line up. You're waiting for all the situations to come together perfectly. And I'm telling you, you cannot wait. You got to start working right now. Depression is not waiting for you to get it together. Poverty's not waiting. Poverty's not waiting for the perfect moment, for the convenient time to get on you. No. Poverty will just roll up on you and disrupt your entire life. Fear's not waiting. Stress is not waiting. Your bills are not waiting. And if fear is not going to wait to attack you, then you can't wait to attack it. If stress is not waiting to attack you, you can't wait to attack it. Whatever is in your life that's trying to bring you, it is not waiting. So you cannot wait. You have got to step up now. I'm telling you, if you're waiting for your degree before you can build a legacy, you're waiting for your father to tell you that he loves you before you can start building legacy? You mean you're waiting for there to be perfect peace in our country before you start building your legacy? You're waiting for everything to line up before you start working on your legacy? No, you can't do that, man. You gotta start working now. You gotta start building legacy now. You gotta start taking care of things now. You gotta get in your position now. You gotta get your life together now. You gotta take this thing seriously now. You gotta start doing it now. Now is the time to start building your marriage. Now is the time to start teaching and investing in your kids. Now is the time to start piecing your money together and getting yourself out of debt. Now is the time to start pursuing something greater. Now is the time to start building the vision that God put in your heart. Now is the time to start saving up for the home. Now is the time to start making those investments in yourself. You cannot wait. Don't wait another day. Don't wait another minute. Don't wait another moment. Now is your time. How long are you going to complain about what you don't have? How long are you going to complain about who didn't do it and who didn't take care of you and who didn't call you and who don't like you and what they said and what they think? Who cares what they think? Who cares what they said? This is not about them. This is about me. This is about what God wants to do in me. This is about the legacy that he wants me to build. This is about the impact he wants me to make. Why am I going to put my legacy to the side in order to appease a person who don't know who I really am? You got to get to a place where you recognize that I'm not just here passing time. I'm not just here just having fun, but I'm here to build legacy. I'm here to make things happen. I'm here to change the world. Now is your time.
All right, guys, who's with me on this? I thought that would be a powerful video to end this thing on. And you know, the thing of it is, you have to see it that way. Now is the time. So let me give you all the link to this. That was about a third of it, but it's a great message. So let's see here. And my computer is wigging out. Let's see. It's winding. Let me turn my video off and see if this helps. All right, guys, I apologize about that. I'll tell you what, it did work with me most of the time, but let me go on and let me see here. We are going to stop this